And welcome back, folks, to more Ace Attorney. Last time we played, we're on the final trial, and well, let's keep on going. Let's get her done. Let's try to finish this today. So, how did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me. No matter what the outcome, I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes. A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. There's one decisive difference between you and her, and that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial before, without a Fae helping me. No one's gonna bail me out this time. Would you describe this channel as a big gray area? Well, there's a lot of gray-haired people here. Gray and white. Because this is a retirement home. I'll be alone in there, so I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. February 23rd, 10 a.m. The court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. What did you do today at 10 a.m.? Definitely wasn't sleeping, that's for sure. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since this trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is not in our hands, not those of anyone else. No, the judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. How was your week? I started playing a new multiplayer game called Void Crow. It's been cutting into my sleep a bit. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Star, to the stand. The cough-up queen. How are you celebrating the 4th of July? With a nice cup of peppermint tea. Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar! I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. And for you, I have the Fiesta Bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? And, you, sir. Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It's too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty, it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession, now. Have you ever had caviar? Probably. Don't remember. Me? Name's Angel Star. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up. Lucky, has anyone told you you taste like pickled tapioca? A number of times, man. I swear to God. I'm so tired. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. Huh? What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Star was a detective? Aha! I know who you are. Cough up. Cough up Queen Angel Star, Your Honor. Long time no see. Very well, you may continue your description, Miss Star. Who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. Block A is for the prosecutor's office personnel. Block B is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutors' spaces, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of A block, in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness, and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, of course, Your Honor. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright, I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Star. Wait, are they talking about me? Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. Hold it. Oh wait, I can't hold it yet. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. How would she know? How would she know? Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend? How touching. As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife, which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. Lucky, why don't you ever bring us a lunchbox? Not gonna answer that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Hold it. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime. Yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. Hooking Tomboy when? It's gonna take a while. I'm telling you that. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim, killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I feel that I have found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I'm a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well, you may continue, Miss Starr. This boyfriend, he's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend? You have several? Yes. This boyfriend, that boyfriend, the other boyfriend. Care to join? Yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. I'll stick to the lunches, thanks. Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. The security guard room is in the lot, in the A block. Lucky, how many boyfriends do you have? None. Never had one. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. You sensed something, so you were saying that you had a premonition of the murder. It felt like, how would you say? Oh yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin It's the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. I have no idea what that means. Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. A young cheese? A pale white cheese, not yet tangy, with experience on the streets. A greenhorn. Ha! Then I must be hard, yellowed, and sharp as a tack. Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match. In any case, there in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. By garish car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth's? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's, wasn't it? Indeed it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, are you sure was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. The prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter. Crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring. I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism. I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. A photograph? You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap, I took a picture. In fact, one of the lunch boxes is ringed with a camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I would show it to you? A prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division in criminal affairs. Well, this is most certainly the defendant. Uh-oh. That is unmistakably Lana Sky. So what was the defendant doing at the time? The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It's your knife after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are, by nature, well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg. I mean, a person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would be a better metaphor. So the defendant was holding a knife. What then? What's your ability to kill the egg? I would never kill the egg. Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? The defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late. Yes, the next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. Let's see. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that. Okay, well, what do we have as... Do you feel calmer when people panic next to you? No. I feel much, much worse. Wait a minute. This parking stub is at 1712. That's 512. But hold on a second. The autopsy report the time of death is between 4 and 5:30 p.m. Wait a minute. Chief prosecutor was holding a knife, but in the picture, she's holding no knife. There is no knife. Hold on a second. I think we're onto something. And you witnessed this. You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with the knife. As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that's a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took at the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Sky not holding a knife? But who was knife? Huh. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet it was still stronger than your ever feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. It was taken the moment after after the stabbing. And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? It's a black and white photograph. Yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem, except you. Mr. Wright, are you gonna stand there and take that kind of abuse? You got a better idea? Well, we gotta object. Wait. That contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. Why don't you object to Chat's abuse? Well, I don't have a helper with me. That's it. If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? How would you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in the photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder, a serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. The murder was planned! The rubber gloves prove it. Lucky, what do your rubber gloves prove? I'm not gonna answer that without my lawyer. What a boring strap. What's wrong with it? Everyone has tastes, you know. Or check out mine. It's a pink princess strap. What's wrong? You look like I do during finals. Never mind. It's nothing. Load up some gotcha on the phone. Play the horse game. Okay. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves? The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves, the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one could make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime. Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Starr. This is bad. She's got them thinking this was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's over. I gotta think of a way to show this wasn't premeditated. We can make it. We don't have the gloves. We don't have the cell phone message. All we know is that Lana Skye called her sister right after what happened. So maybe it's the attorney's badge. I'll try with the phone, but I'm not sure. No. We've already inspected the phone. It didn't, Sergeant Bruce Goodman. Yabba dab. Yeah, there's nothing on the knife. Yeah, but if it was planned, why would she leave the knife there? Why would she murder someone in the parking lot? Why would she use Edgeworth's knife, too? Yeah, why would she use that knife? Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell box lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. A knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it's my life. What's with this case? Are prosecutors bad people? The defense has a request. We ask the witness to provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing? The murder weapon. Oh. The knife just happened to be in the trunk of the car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. Whoa! Order, order, order. Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Stumbled onto the answer. What? I completely figured that out. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. Right? I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't thinking, I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide had turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Ah! The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution needs to prove, nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would... Oh. I would like to hear your testimony again. What did she say? What did she say? Oh well. Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine. Plunge the knife in again and again. Wait a minute. In again and again? That's a lie. We know this is a lie. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? If I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? Yes. In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. Well, let's just blow her theory out of the water right now. A human machine? That's a contradiction! Please. Can't you find fault with something of substance, Mr. Wright? Note to self, Mr. Edgeworth's size smells of citrus fruit. You say again and again. How many times did she stab him exactly? We often say chop into 1,000 pieces, but we don't actually mean 1,000 pieces. What difference does it make if the deed is done? Oh, she's getting mad at me. Let's just say she stabbed him several times and leave it at that. Leave it at that? This is a murder case, people. Mr. Wright, you should speak up if you have an objection, you know. Miss Starr has turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off. The short wick burns out the fastest. It's a scientific fact. Short wick? I wonder, would it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax, and even a really short wick will burn longer. Obviously, more scientific testing is required. Hold on a momento. Objection! You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise! I'm afraid the moss is growing under her feet as we wait, Miss Starr. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha! You're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. What a hunk. He's my hero, really. What about my objection? No one noticed? Well, witness? You got the crime scene set, right? Oh, thanks. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So? You're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. A red muffler? Yes, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. So, she can easily be hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose. He's right. Miss Skye was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But wait. Isn't it odd that you mistook that for splattered blood? Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib. What? A judge with a bib? That's why this place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes. Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest. However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound. Apparently, Miss Starr isn't entirely sure of her own testimony. Mr. Wright, this is our chance. A chance for what, I wonder? Well, let's go check out the picture. There's no muffler! Oh my god! Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or a muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be. Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Wow, Edgeworth is really sticking it to her. Congratulations. Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Ah, harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there. A scarf. No, not that, but something red, really. Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What? Well, witness, continue your testimony. You saw the crime, apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? Part where your sister stabs the victim. The next testimony might just be the moment of truth. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights, and arrested her on the spot. Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Starr, resistance is futile. You are quite determined about this scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Starr. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is kind of a snake. Actually. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. Predator, this one. A leopard woman. Roar. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition to her side. So where is this partition on the floor plans? Oh, I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. That's right. There was a wall there, about 6 feet tall. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. And what did you do then? I quickly caught her, explained her rights, and arrested her on the spot. You say quickly, were you close to the suspect? As I just said. I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her for more details. Actually, wasn't there a fence? I'd like to see that on the floor plans just to be safe. The Lunchland car was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here? That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes? Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right. There's a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. Amazing! The cough-up queen? Lunch lady athlete indeed? Would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. So she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet tall. So how did Miss Sky not get away? When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say? If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. All I heard her say was the word muffler. Just one word? So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Phone? She can't mean... Do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately. My memory... It's like a salmon hitting upstream, you see. No, the court doesn't see, Miss Starr. The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? Right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently it was out of order. So she used her cell phone? Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness! Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? You should, of course, add this to your testimony. The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. Do you think you could restate your testimony? Oh. Shoot. Oh, damn. I didn't want to see that. The prosecutor stabbed the victim, ran behind the partition. Picked up the emergency phone, but it was out of order. Pulled out her cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time, he climbed the chain link fence. I boldly grabbed her arm. Chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this. What is it, Mr. Wright? Made to escape. Can you be more specific? You brushed aside my hand and ran. It was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of lard on a pâté of foie gras. Huh? You even kicked over an oil drum at me. An oil drum? There was an oil drum lying on its side at the side of the... There was an oil drum lying on its side at the scene of the crime. It is strange. What's that? If she wanted to escape, why didn't she run the other way? Parking lot entrance. That's right. Doesn't make any sense that she would run from behind the partition to the oil drums. Excellent. More mysteries. I wish we could solve a few before finding more, though. Miss Sky tried to run. I'm sorry my sister is so suspicious, Mr. Wright. Not as sorry as I am. She didn't do it. You have to believe me. Well, she said she knocked away the phone while it was open, but the phone was closed when we saw it, right? So... Oh no, that's wrong. You saw her doing this. What does it mean? Lucky, please. I'm trying to figure it out. I heard this is what they call a flip phone. I've never seen one before. What do I need to pull out here? Out of my bag. Is it the floor map? I'm gonna try the floor map. Miss Star, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Sky. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought that you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You, who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Huh, let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Sky making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in the B block, you couldn't have seen it. What? Order, what is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch. She's coughing up lies. Ugh. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question? Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about what she saw. She lied about where she saw it, the order of events. Well, I'm going to say where she saw it. She was in the A block. Then how could she take the picture? The order of events? Who was phone? I mean, it could be where she saw it, and it could be the order of events. I'm going to go with where she saw it. Miss Sky tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Starr to lie about it. Pointless to lie. I see. But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Starr witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least tell me. At least let me tell it. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? All the testimonies we've heard until now points in one direction. The place where she witnessed the crime? Probably in the security room, I would say. That's how she saw the telephone thing. This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room? Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor so you can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. Why there? There's many other places where she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room. Yes? Well, Miss Star? How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today, a man has got the better of Angel Star. Order! Order! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright? Doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make any sense. Huh? She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. The truth still stands. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? A witness is found to be lying. They're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. Tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else? Right, let's review what we know. Miss Star witnessed the crime from the security guard station. She lied and she said she saw it from B block. It must make a vital difference, but what? What would it change? Well, it's the angle of view to the crime, of course. Why, the angle at which she saw the crime occur would change. The angle? What do you mean? Well, the security guard station is on the second floor, and, she would have sort of a 3D view of the crime. That is important. Why? Oh! Perhaps you would like to reconsider, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright. I guess it's the distance? Changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright. But one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Star, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky? Well, witness, you. Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Huh. Boysenberry for the boyfriend? It wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. That's why I had to go through the visitors' parking in B block. That's quite a detour. It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. 5 minutes? This changes things considerably. There was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. You have a point. And the spork is a wonderful invention. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely. Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something.
Objection!
I feel like sporks have fallen off. I don't think I've heard anyone use a spork in the last 20 years. 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time. If you like it al dente. I've got lunch boxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange. If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey! Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone. It's the judge! Son of a gun. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. The Sky dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Well then, it seems we have come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go? Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close. I'm afraid that the Kappa Queen has been dethroned, and with that, court is adjourned. Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist off on me. I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. What was that? Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr. Huh. Is this your jumbo lunchbox? Woohoo! A triple decker! Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence. Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she gonna pull out of her lunchbox this time? I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene, and now? To the matter of the victim's shoe, did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's. And the other blood type? Matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. The shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. If the shoe fits. What? There was blood found on the shoe? Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Witness, what is the meaning of this? Why is that the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? Seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective, as I mentioned previously. The shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Is that right, Mr. Wright? Seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. You could at least study some evidence law, really. The prosecution complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. We show evidence all the time, that's true. It seems you have yet another count against you, witness. Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Why did you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results. The results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, 5-minute blank means nothing. Then why didn't you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. This when the suspect is admitting that she did it? False testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr. It's the worst. Murder? Eh. Thievery? Eh. Falsifying evidence? Death sentence. And now to the matter of the victim's shoe. Really big shoe. Now, you found this shoe at the scene of the crime? I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe. What's the dog doing? I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe was my secret weapon, if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. I'm happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really. In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now, tell us what you did next. So you brought it to the forensics department. If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. And she got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective. His shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it. Well, the man was stabbed after all. And that blood belonged to the Detective Goodman? As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe. And the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. You can't say for sure that the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie? Huh? Well, speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types, A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there, which means we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear. It's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten the DNA test results. But they said there could be very little doubt that it could be anyone else but Miss Lana Sky. So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe. That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that. The shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. I can't let this evidence go through without a fight. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Ugh. Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client is in hot enough water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or do you not have a problem with this shoe? A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? Well, there's probably a problem. Why was she bleeding? I'm not imagining things. I'd say there's one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction. A gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? What's the problem with the evidence? Oh. Inside. Maybe there's a quarter inside. Oh, it's the blood. Is it the blood? It's probably this. Right? I'm going to say this. Imagine the smell. Right there. There's the problem. Judge, may you sniff it? Take that! I wonder if you've noticed. There's blood at the bottom of the shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie. Alright, it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Well, there's quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. Makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of the shoe? It has to be the photo? Yeah, there's no blood on the floor. The problem lies in the footprints. The footprint? Note the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't there any bloody footprints found at the scene of the crime? Aha. As you can see, there is no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and we found nothing of the sort. Order, order, order. Well, witness? What? Huh? Where are you going, Mr. Wright? But it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask, why wasn't there a footprint? Oh, that's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Because the murder happened somewhere else. Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? I see. Now I get it. Yeah, what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There's one vital hint to the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspects. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside and kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Roar. I thought that was strange. That was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that, I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. So apparently, you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory. Witness, well, was the oil drum empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? Uh-huh. You don't mean... Yes, the suspect knocked over the oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that could become evidence against her. That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to this murder. And after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. That reminds me, This guy's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she'd cut herself when she stabbed him? So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe? Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, do something, please. What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. But enough. There is no need for further debate. Your verdict, Your Honor. Very well. An Angel Star is on the prosecutor's side. He could have been lying about the water. This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you had your fill, but here you are, demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence. Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else. The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen. Look at this. A photograph. I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. I see no room for error in this evidence. Mr. Wright, wait, look at the asphalt in the photo. Hey, it's clearly wet. Uh-oh. Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning, and it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia. Right, wet or not, don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt and take another good look. Don't give up, not until the bitter end. Man, I wish I had a ghost lawyer helping me out. Very well, this time I would like to declare a verdict for good. Objection! Your Honor, wait. What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait? No, it can't. Then it will be too late. Look at this photograph. The last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, right, are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. I suppose we've come this far. We should give every claim a fair shake. Show the court the problem with this photo. I mean, something in the muffler. Look, you please wait. I'm trying to figure it out. Give me a second. It's got to be more than the muffler, right? No Googling. Oh, I'm screwed. Just hit it? No, it's gotta be something else. Okay, I'll go with the muffler. The problem in this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car muffler. Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor? You just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf in any kind of this photograph. Oh, Judge. A muffler is also part of a car or a motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as the part of the exhaust system, a pipe. I see, and I see. What's that suspicious looking cloth sticking out of the car muffler? So what if there's something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing, absolutely nothing. Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not gonna be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to the case, so it's probably the phone. The word muffler. Miss Starr, recall your testimony to the court. Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler? Ah, yarg! Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. Oh, warg! Well, it seems we will have to suspend the proceedings. Suspend? I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. Well, that was close, but we made it for now. This court will adjourn for 30 minutes of recess. It's lunchtime after all. You still hungry? Oh, that judge is thick. That boy hungry. Defendant's lobby. Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Are trials always like this with you? Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake, about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there? Pretty much. Except today, we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway? Apparently, she got called off to the judge's chambers. Probably something to do with that piece of cloth. So this is where we turn this trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny, insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Hola, partner. They say you show a red cloth to a bull and it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was a youngin', at least. Officer Marshall. I thought I'd come and take a look-see at how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. That hard to slip out, huh? What's going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. He wasn't even wearing a scarf. You don't say. Now, don't that just beat all? I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. Saw it that day. She was wearing a red muffler. What? At the awards ceremony that afternoon, Edgeworth's seen it too, I reckon. What's that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. So Miss Starr wasn't mistaken. Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. Got a bad feeling about this. So what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh-wee! I'd like to resume. What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, and you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused, and you're doubled over, your back is bent. It can't be! This can't happen! I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Well then, I believe it is time we continued on with this trial. During our recess, this is unacceptable! Seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me, knock knock? Who's there? Who? What's with this guy? A strange stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. The temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. The ball of fire. Who on earth is he? That's you. Yeah? Oh. Sorry I'm late, Udgy. The roads were packed, it's just me. Long time no see, eh, Udgy? How's it been? Swim much these days? Hello. No, I've been busy. Busy, smizzy, Udgy. My boy, you gotta make time to relax. Yes, indeed. Udgy? It seems to be the nickname for the judge. I'm afraid you're right, very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? Aha! So you're Righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son. Thanks. Sorry about our little worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly. Little worthy? Mr. Wright, you don't know the district chief of police? Chief of police? He is the top ranking police officer in the entire district. Name's Gant. Damon Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So, what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom. Well, it's worthy here. Look at the poor fella. I thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey, that's my sister's muffler. So Miss Starr wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing the muffler. But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe. Can check. We're drinking a San Pellegrino Aranciata Rossa. On little Worthy's car, no less. You actually opened it. It's a can. Come on. It's quite embarrassing, even for us. What's this? That's what you would call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth, how could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now, wait a minute, Worthy. I've no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that. There's no mistaking that signature, is there, Miles Edgeworth? That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel, but you're the person in charge. I expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made. This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words. This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. Ugh. The court accepts this new evidence, but I'd like to ask the defense a favor first, yes? Just to be sure. I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife. The blade, sir? I don't see why not. Could you open it up for me, I wonder? Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push that switch and... If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore. Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point at it. I wouldn't be able to point it at people anymore. Come on, hurry up and open it. What? Don't scare me like that. I'm the one who's scared. Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off. And this dark red stain. Blood? Found at the crime scene, wrapped in the defendant's muffler. Small tag attached. This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry, but can I ask you to testify for us about the split between prosecutors and the police? And this knife? Sure thing, not a problem. Not even a little one, really. This knife is special, but I can't say how here, unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. It was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. The detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. The time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? Not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. There was a murder at the police department? A detective? That's hush-hush information, Udgy. We haven't exactly announced it yet. Objection! Wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Order, order, order! Anyway, we at the department were all flustered. As you might well assumed, we're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department's situation. Well, Mr. Wright? 2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. The chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Very well, however, keep your questions focused on the case at hand. Did we get a full bar back? Yeah, okay. Excuse me, special? Mm-hmm. Hard to come by this particular knife anywhere else. Might that special thing be this little tag? Oh, sorry, Righto, but I can't say that now, not that. We've established that the knife in Goodman's chest was this knife. Now, why was there another knife at the scene of the crime? That's quite a mystery. And like a mystery, it's something it's wrapped in something. A muffler. This knife was found at the scene of our crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you? See, there's a lot of things that go on at the department that I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto. Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine that knife while we can, Righto. Evidence that links this knife to Detective Goodman. Perhaps the pieces are falling into place. I should try presenting the piece of evidence that had me stumped all this time. So how are things down at the department? There's a small tag on the knife. It says SL9 too. What's that supposed to mean? I'm not sure. DL6? Maybe it's a case number. That's weird. What? I don't remember where, but I think I've seen something like this before. Something similar that was written on this tag. It wasn't too long ago. The paper, right? SL9. It's backwards, of course. Wait a second. At last, an honest to goodness objection. This knife, this has something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? Aha! An honest to goodness, what do you mean from Udgy? This is great. Look at this tag on this knife. It reads SL92. And this is important. Why? Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minus 7S and 12 too? Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside. The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up, but turn it around and what do you get? What the hell? Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. SL9. That's the same thing that's written on the knife's tag. Order! Order! Well, Chief. Well, guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, righto. I win? What game is this guy playing? This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. This knife was stolen? Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say. Was it, in fact, a murder weapon? Nice, nice, nice. Good show, little worthy. It was a murder weapon, as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. Well, this knife was stolen on the day of the murder. It was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. Hard to think there wasn't a connection there. Something happened at the police department too, huh? You got a good look in your eye there, righto, my boy. Sharp, hungry. So something did happen. Why wasn't I informed? Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand. You were busy. What with Lana's case and all? Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess! On the same day, a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot. Another detective was killed at the police department? That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Udgy? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested them, in fact. Just arrested? That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, righto? I suppose I could help if you help me by giving me data on your case. Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. Well, he was found in the police department. How was he killed? Probably... Oh, we don't know this. And when did the victim die? Well, he said it was 5:15, so... Yeah, it was 5:15. Same time. And police department where the victim was found, so... Well, how was the detective killed? Was he killed? Now, that's the interesting part. It was what we in the force call a stabbing with a knife. A knife? That's the same as Detective Goodman. That's the spirit. Now we're cooking with gas. You know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same. What do you mean? There were more similarities between the two cases than the cause of death. Did you know that the K in knife is silent? No, actually. It seems like I'm going to have to press this a bit harder. 5:55, but that's when Detective Goodman was killed in the prosecutor's office. What? Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's place and a murder at our place at the very same time. What are the chances? Coincidence? It's just my gut feeling, but I'd say there's a 0.001 chance of that happening. Repeating. Chief Gant, please tell us more about the incident. How can you say there's no connection? How? Because I'm the chief of police. I can't just say anything I please, righto? You understand? I do understand, righto. Well, if you can prove that there's a connection, more power to you. Maybe there's something that ties the two murders together? Oh. The two detectives were killed at 5:15, one at the prosecutor's office and one at the police department. That can't be a coincidence. And that knife, what was it doing there? So, what would tie both? Is it the SL7 thing? It's this guy. I'm gonna say this. No, it's not that. Is it the knife? The cell phone? Like a think crime. I'm gonna try the phone. No, it's not the phone. Oh, the phone is because it said muffler, right? And the knife was found in the muffler. Is it the knife? No? Like we tried everything. Yeah, we got two knives. It's not officially linked here to this case, so I can't talk about it. We're trying to link the cases together. The knife was found in the victim's car, or the Edgeworth's car, where the victim was. Why was it there? Is this the link? No? You want a hint? Sure. We got no health anyways, so. Ooh. Is it the other knife? No. No. Yeah. How was he killed with the knife? The other knife. He got stabbed. Good thing we saved. It was fired out of the tailpipe wrapped in the muffler. It wasn't fired out, but... So, maybe we're just using it on the wrong thing, though. We tried the knife. We tried this. We tried the phone. We tried the knife. I guess it's impossible. That's what I'm saying. That's true. If we keep trying everything on every option, eventually we're gonna get it. She says it's hard to think there's no connection here. Okay. He got stabbed. Same thing as Detective Goodman. Not the only thing that it was exactly the same. What do you mean? There's two similarities between... There was more similarities between the two cases. Time of the crime, 5:55. Have you considered it wasn't a multiple choice question? What do you mean? Can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can give the crime... Let's say the crime took place in the evidence room of the police department. Wait a second, I've heard of that. The evidence room. Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? There's the connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally got some leverage. So what, I present the knife again? No. Oh, I just had to press. Okay. Defense position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. You don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. Connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention that the victim had on him the case number on the knife's evidence tag. Again, things I've pointed out earlier. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room. Indeed. There do seem to be too many coincidences, too many connections for it to be a coincidence. You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here. Chief, I request you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all. Can we get the information unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What, really? Would have guessed? I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay? If you're gonna tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Ah, well, case information is sticky stuff. You gotta do everything properly. How about you tell me the victim's ID number? Oh, sure, why not? Not like you would be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. But you won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. Number is... 5842189. That's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 82. I can't do it. You didn't even get the first number right. Does that tell you anything? The ID number of the victim at the police department was 5842189. This tells me something. It does, Your Honor. It does, I think. Meaning? It has to be what I think it is. What does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You said the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department. Tells you something. What does it tell you? Son of a bee?
Take that!
Witness. What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. No, it's just, I got confused. And this is news? Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing like you always do. Police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number right here. Oh, is it yours? No, Your Honor. I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto. Personal IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189. And this means what exactly? Huh? Wait, that ID number we just heard from the chief earlier. It started with an 82. I've forgotten. You didn't even get the number right again. The number the chief of police gave us was 5842189. Wait a second, right? What is this? Mean? Well, that's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? He didn't even read the sentence right. Arrest me for word crimes. Sharp as a tack, Righto. Sharp as a tack. Oh, wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Yet, a Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department. In the evidence room at the exact same time. That's impossible. So, what we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time? In a completely different location? Order, order, order! Chief, what does this mean? No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of this case. Now wait, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error? Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours. What? How dare? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Officer Meekins? That's right, where have we heard that name before? Wait, aha! excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I got your report. You don't mean him? According to Meekins, he didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me. He said that report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written on top of the report. Ah! Why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged. In any case, this is a serious error. Gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy. But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. And no such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy? What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law? Never talk about evidence law. Well, Mr. Wright? Huh? Well, it's, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And how is this rule relevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So what does that mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Righto over there. Lucky, can we have a Riz emote? No. Good job, Righto, my boy. Huh? I was just doing my job. No. No! It seems we have come to the end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy, with all those rumors. You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened. If it's the last thing I do. You better get results this time, really. You have my profound apologies, sir. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well, court is adjourned. To be continued. I guess we got another stream of this. Another day, the last day. All right, well, I guess we'll call it there for Ace Attorney for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, well, I guess that's the end of the stream as well. We only got one stream. We got another stream tonight. What? Look at the schedule. There's nothing there. Well, we'll say goodbye to YouTube first. So, bye, YouTube. See you next time.